current one that we're going to go into is what I will call your lucky day. Lucky day in the sense that we're going to go into interesting topics, and those that will participate in this presentation, it's really, I would say, luck, because the information that they will receive and the preparations that they will get for the events that are coming ahead of us, especially by the end of this year, 2018, and year 2019, this particular presentation is what is going to prepare all of you guys, not just for the billions that we're all going to make, but also to secure all those billions, and also to be prepared for what will happen in the whole cryptocurrency market and the whole world in a global scale. So once more, welcome to CryptoAfrica Billionaires 2018. The first thing we need to go into is money. What is money? And why are all of you guys right here, right now, interested in making billions of it? Is it just because you want to have 9 zeros behind your bank account? Is it just because you want to be able to own everything that you want, when you want it, without money being the limitation? Or is it just because you want to be able to trade and exchange your money for any good or article that you desire? And the answer is all of those three. Money is an invention, money is a commodity, and money is a means to get other things. But in the current 21st century, and for the past thousands of years, mankind has evolved to use money on a daily basis as a commodity first. So is money an invention? Yes. Is money a good invention? I will leave you guys to decide for your own self by the end of this presentation. I'm going to go to a story, right? And this story begins about 200 years ago with the greatest empire right now on earth called America, as you may know. And about 2,200 years ago, a particular explorer called Christopher Columbus traveled to America. And the reason why he did so was to go explore and to discover what are the other things in the other parts of the world. And here is this man, a colorless man, by the way, meaning he was white, and he comes to America and he finds a lot of other cultures, mainly the Amerindian, the people from Mexico, the people from Hawaii, and some black Africans too. When he comes and finds them there, he travels back to Europe and informs the people in Europe, should I say his teammates, that he's found a land full of gold, full of silver, and where they can live and they can all make tremendous amounts of money. And these people, by the way, have no protection. They just use spears and arrows. So if we go there, we can easily take over the whole continent without having much rebellion. So here he comes the second time with a group of people with enough guns and enough powder to decimate the whole indigenous people of America and everyone that will raise himself against what they're doing. And that's exactly how the story went down. They decimated the whole people of America, most of them, and we're talking of hundreds of thousands of people, and took away all the gold, all the silver, kept it for themselves, and then divided America into what it is. Some people were given the land of Hawaii because they did not want to be slaughtered, so they were given the option to move and take care of that part. Other people went to Mexico, and most of those that were black had to remain in America itself because they did not want to go that easily. So the story is more deeper than this, and I won't go into much details. And now Christopher Columbus and his group has taken over America, the central land of America. Now they need laborers to build it, to construct America into what they want it to be, or should I say into what it currently and presently looks like. And you have a bunch of different families, and among them the Rothschild, Rockefellers, some people from England, I just don't want to name names to index anyone, and people from throughout the regions of Europe, and great families, which we consider currently great. But according to the story, they are nothing like that. But you guys be the judge of it again. And now we have a consensus. They had to decide who is going to be the face of America, because the rebellion of the blacks still continue. The people of North America and the people of Mexico still attempted to take over their lands and recover all their gold and silver that was illegitimately taken from them. But since they did not have as much guns, they couldn't do that. Now we have the election of the first president of America. and currently is a really famous man, a really famous figure in the history of mankind. His name is Abraham Lincoln. And they made a vote, so they say, of the one who had to be the first president of America. And he's the one that won. But what the story doesn't say is that the election was made in such a way that he was the only person that could win, because all of his oppositions, mainly the black people, mainly the people from Hawaii, and mainly the people from Mexico, couldn't read and write English language. Therefore, even when they went to be voted for, they really did not understand what this all election meant. And the people that were backing Abraham Lincoln, particularly the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers family, had paid most people to vote for him. Therefore, he was the only president that American could have. And just as planned, he won the election, and one of the conditions that they put on him is that in the law of the United States of America, they must have a word, in the sense that they are the one who are supposed to write the law, and the law shouldn't go against them, because they are the one who backed him into power. And just as it was conditioned, he had to agree. So now we have the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and some people in Britain and in Europe writing the whole laws of the United States of America and how America is supposed to be run. Now this is when the greatest, if not the second greatest, invention took place. They had to build a whole financial system, a financial system that would serve to pay all the laborers of America, and at the same time protect all the employers in America. So this system had two roles to play. The first role to play was to be used to pay everyone that worked in America. And this is particularly the original Americans, which are the people from Mexico, the people from North America, and the black people that were there. So America had to be built. They needed manual labor. But now, since they took most of the gold and silver of the land, people couldn't work for free. So they had to create a system in such a way that the people that worked could be paid. And they couldn't be paid in gold and silver in the beginning. So what they did, they created the Bank of America, which is currently the bank of all banks in the world, if I may say. And the role of that bank was simply he is an individual that's a manual laborer. He works in construction of a building. So his hourly pay is about $1. And back then, $1 was equivalent of 25 grams of silver. So at the end of his day, his employee will give him $1. But all what the dollar served was for him to go to the bank and to cash out the respective silvers that $1 were worth. So that dollar was just what we can currently call a gift card. So when someone paid someone in $1, it was for the person to redeem it in silver or in gold, but it was mainly silver at first. So now we have a bunch of people working, 1 million plus, and the quantity of silver that they own is not enough to pay all those people. Or should I say, the quantity of dollars that had to be created were in a ratio to the quantity of silver that the bank owned. So they could not create more dollar than how much silver they had. Now you have a bunch of people working, a bunch of people that have to get paid, and there's not as much silver in the bank to back all that up. So those people can't cash out their dollar every time in the bank because the bank doesn't even have as much silver, because that was the role of the bank back then. So what happens is they jump into gold and started using gold as the measure of backing the bank. And again, there is still the same problem because they don't own as much gold to be able to pay every single person that works in America. So what do? Let's increase the price of gold, which is what they did. So now, rather than someone being paid $1 to receive 25 grams of silver, let's make $1 worth 5 grams of silver instead. Therefore, he has to work 5 times as much to get paid what he was supposed to be paid before. And with gold, he had to work 100 times as much to be able to get paid what he was originally meant to be paid. And at first it works fantastically, and they fall into the same problem again. We don't have as much gold to continue this for the next 100 years or for the next 1,000 years. What do? We need to find a commodity which is limitless and in such a way that that commodity can be used for the next 100 years and for the next 1,000 years. And by the way, to make this transition, there are several things that happen first. And one of the things were they forced people to exchange all their gold and silver into dollars, because in the year 1885, a law was passed that only the dollar will be the official currency in America, and this time it will not only be a currency, I should say a gift card, one that you will receive to go to the bank and cash out your respective gold or silver, but it will be a full-fledged currency that you can go and use it everywhere in America, and every American was obliged to give away or to bring all his gold and silver to the bank. And those that did were given the respective silver or the respective gold. They were given the amount of dollar that it was worth. Those that didn't, and they were found, all their gold and all their silver was taken. But this brought about dark markets. Dark markets in the sense that some of the people that also wanted to make money and wanted to own some gold and silver, who were part of the American government but not fully affiliated with these particular families, Rothschild or Rockefellers, they became exchanges themselves. So you could come to them with your gold and silver. Maybe if the bank was giving you $100 for 1 gram of gold, they might give you twice that. So people that kept their gold and their silver could go exchange it to this dark market. And the government was not also for that. So they end up all being closed. This alternative was needed like never before. And petroleum was the perfect commodity, a commodity that's in abundant supply. And with the new invention of automobiles of that day, which was the revolution at that time, cars came out and cars use petroleum. So right now we have a need of petroleum, and at the same time we can use petrol to back all the American dollars. And whoa, that was a solution. The amount of cars being produced and engineered dramatically increased. The amount of countries, or should I say continents, who own petroleum began to be invaded. And most of you guys should know what is currently happening in most countries in the world who own petroleum. And the reason why those things are happening is because the world currency, namely the dollar, is backed by petrol, just as it was backed by silver and gold before. Therefore, America needs to be the one that controls that petrol. And I mean fully, in the sense that they are the one that control the demand of that petrol, and they are the one that control the supply of that petrol. And if you are the person that controls both the demand and both the supply, then in one word, you can claim you control the world, because you control all the finances and all the money of that world. And we are in the 21st century. That's the story of the past, by the way. We're in the future right now, and they're still faced with the same problem, because several other people, should I say several other nations, just like America, did the same thing that America did. So they created their own currency backed by petrol also. We have UK, that's one of them. We have China, that's one of them. There's Australia, there's Germany, there's most African countries, and most of the world. So now America is not the only country that has to fight, or should I say that has to own some petroleum, because everyone else wants some. So what do? Do we share the petroleum of the world among ourselves? Because if we do, then we really wouldn't be the one that control the world, which is the plan. So we have to fight for it. Which is pretty sad to say, and that's what they've done and what they're still doing. But now it becomes that the stronger takes all and the weaker loses everything, which is still a problem, because a time will definitely come when this petrol will run out, as they say, because the truth is there's enough petrol in all the world to last us thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I don't just say that to say, as a chemical engineer, I have also been taught that. And beyond even being a chemical engineer that learned that, I have some information that I just can't share here, but we do have enough petroleum in this world for 100,000 years if we need petrol for that much. We do have more than enough. So this scarcity is pretty much one that's created, relating it back to the dollar, to increase the value or the worth of the dollar, because the more scarce the commodity that backs this money is, the higher the value of that money. And I will relate it to cryptocurrency. The more scarce the Bitcoin is, the higher the price of the Bitcoin. So this is not a new logic. It's something that most people have been practicing for a long time. Currently now we are in an interesting time, because they have to create what they call the new money. And this new money is basically a money that's backed by nothing, truthfully speaking, neither by gold, neither by silver, neither by petroleum. And this solves the problem of demand and supply, or scarcity, because right now we can create as much money as we need or as we want without having any commodity to back it. So is this a problem? You be the judge of it again. So here we are. The Bitcoin was I'll call it the test of such a currency in the making, the currency that's fully backed by nothing. And it was a great success because for the first time, a currency that has no commodity behind it was worth more than all commodities in the world. And this was a virtual currency, just a line of codes. One Bitcoin at its all-time high was $20,080. That's about 500 grams of gold at the current rate and about 50,000 grams of silver at its current rate. So we have this virtual currency fully backed by nothing, but just by the people who decide to trust in it. And the more it is trusted, the more it is traded, the higher the value was. So we have a worthless money which somehow, due to its use, has become the money that's worth the more as compared to all other type of money before it. And now we're faced again with a particular question: how do we keep ourselves safe and secure from the banking system first, and from the rise and the fall of these currencies, which are truly inevitable? Because again, every single currency that has existed and that will exist will rise and will fall, depending on who are the people who back those currencies. The cryptocurrency market is a new and profitable market for everyone to become a billionaire to the list this year alone. And having that much money without having anything to do with the bank, it's a good thing, but at the same time it becomes a problem, because how are you going to keep all that money away from the bank? The people who are currently billionaires and don't want to have to do with the bank, they have offshore accounts, they have private accounts throughout the world, and it was confirmed by the leaks of WikiLeaks. If some of you are aware of it, good. If not, you guys can just go search for the Panama Papers. So those people know that to keep most of your money, you must either go private or you're gonna lose some of it. So right now we have cryptocurrency billionaires, but 80% of them keep their monies online. And now you have, let's just take an example, you own $1 billion in dollar, and 800 millions of that is not in your current possession, but in the possession of an exchanger, or should I say the equivalent of a bank in a sense. Is it really smart? The answer is truly no. No, because just as the first time that America made a takeover of the financial sector of the world by forcing people into giving in their gold and silver to the banking system, such a takeover is also inevitable, and sad to say, it already has begun. Therefore, it is truly advisable for each and everyone here that already owns any cryptocurrency to fully, if not 99%, go offline with his money and saving it on his own computer, and a computer that is rarely connected to the internet, and not keep his coins online. Most of it should be kept offline, because two of the world's greatest exchanger, and right now just one of them has already been subpoenaed by the United States government, as you can see here. This happens two days ago, and Bittrex, which is the first American exchanger of cryptocurrency, is currently undergoing a lawsuit, and they are going to lose that lawsuit, by the way. So Bittrex by the end of this year is going to be closed. Coinbase by the end of this year is going to be closed. Binance by the end of this year is going to be closed. And the Tether's creator, we are gonna have to do what is logical, run away with the money that they can, because when these markets are closed, I will show you what it simply means. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, were you not guys seeing the screen, by the way? Wow, I thought all of this time you were seeing the screen, but thank you, Omar, for telling me that. I just shared it. Can you see the screen now, though? Okay, yes, you can. Perfect. I'm going to show you something. We have Bittrex. And as you can see, Bittrex is presently worth 911 billions, or should I say millions of dollars. And look at the volume of Bitcoins. 12% of the whole cryptocurrency market of Bitcoins is owned, or should I say is being traded in Bittrex. So an exchanger like this being closed means 12% of all the Bitcoins will either be lost, which cannot happen, but will be owned by the United States government, precisely the CIA department. And we have another cryptocurrency like Ethereum. And before I go to that, I'm going to go to Coinbase. If Coinbase, which is also a non-cryptocurrency exchanger. I wanted to check how much it's capped right now or worth right now, but having some difficulty doing that. We have this currency, Ethereum, which Bitfinex and Bittrex owns about just 1%, which is good, because even if they close, most people will not be affected that much, but particularly the Bitcoin, people will dramatically be affected by Bittrex being closed, which they will by the end of this year. So everyone that uses Bittrex first, and also Bitfinex, which is, if not the most popular cryptocurrency exchanger in the world, is in the second place. As you can see, it owns about 39%. So just those two combined, this is already 60% plus of all the Bitcoin currently being traded in the world are being traded just in these two platforms. So them being closed simply means that 60% of the whole Bitcoin market will be owned by the government of America, precisely. Therefore, they will be the one that will determine the supply, just as they presently do with petrol, and that would dramatically either increase the price of the Bitcoin, or the opposite will happen, dramatically crash the price of the Bitcoin, which is not going to happen. So it's more likely going to increase again. But all of this is part of a bigger plan, which each individual should research. There's this project called, it's an agenda of a cashless society. For those that want to know more about it, I would just say, just leave me a text and we can go into more details. But before I continue the presentation, India also rejected the Bitcoin, particularly as a legal cryptocurrency, or should I say as a legal currency, and they consider it, as they claim, as a Ponzi scheme, basically a scam. And the government by law has the right to close every Ponzi scheme and to own all the money that was collected by those Ponzi schemes. And one of the rights they also have is to decide if they're going to pay back the people who have been scammed, or they can just keep the money. And in every single time that I've been scammed online and that the company was closed by the government, I can assure you that not even a single time was I paid back. So you guys just be the judge of the situation when Bitfinex or Bittrex is going to be closed or Coinbase is going to be closed. Are they gonna send you back your Bitcoins? You answer that for yourself. And we have a company like Facebook, which I'm not gonna say much about, who is banning all ads promoting cryptocurrency, including the Bitcoin. You know, and Bitcoin being the world's first social media, doing such a thing is going to also affect the whole cryptocurrency market tremendously. Are people still going to believe in this, or are people just going to lay down and not own any cryptocurrency because the government is against it, which is the plan? So because in September a cryptocurrency is coming out, and this cryptocurrency is going to be the first government cryptocurrency. So all of what they're presently doing, it's simply discrediting the whole cryptocurrency market, particularly the Bitcoin, and particularly shutting down every opposition, mainly the exchanges, so that they can be the only and exclusive exchanges, just as what the bank is currently is, so that if you ever want any cryptocurrency, you can only go to the bank and get it, and there will be no other way but their way. So that cryptocurrency is coming, and when that does, again, I said it's in September, all of you guys are going to be informed, and all of you guys should own several of them, because that's going to be the currency of the world temporarily. Should I say the next dollar? Temporarily. Let's talk numbers for a bit. I went into stories about what money means and about where we are currently in the cryptocurrency world, and what the government is planning to do with the whole cryptocurrency market to crash it, so that they can be the only one that own most of it, and to close all the exchanges, so that if you ever need any Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency for that matter, you have to pass through your bank or pass through them, their exchanger. So what does it now mean? It simply means that the best cryptocurrency that one should own are privacy coins, mainly. Just as people in the business world go offshore with their money, people in the cryptocurrency world that wants to go an equivalent of offshore will be to get some privacy coins. And right now there's a list of 3 privacy coins that we're carefully choosing. First, because of their project. Second, because of their privacy and transparency. And third, because of their profitability within the next 11 months, especially after this crash, or should I say, especially after this takeover, because people will not be using Bitcoins when they know that most of the Bitcoin are owned by the government, and at the same time, the government now can see who does what with the Bitcoin. So what would they do? They will want to use a currency which is fully anonymous and fully private. That's what I would do. And I believe that's why I'm in the cryptocurrency market for the first place. I'm not just in the cryptocurrency market or world just because of the profits and because of the money that can be made in it, but firstly because I want to fully disconnect myself from the banking system. And them doing a cryptocurrency takeover just to put the bank again as the only entity to regularize the whole cryptocurrency market is not really beneficial, but if anything, it's again to bring us back to where we already are right now in the financial sector of the world. So going fully offshore in the cryptocurrency market is the best thing to do. Here are 3 coins, and they go in the order of IBM. I being for Indigen, B being for Bitcoin, and M being for Monero. These coins are presently extremely cheap, if not for Monero, which as compared to a year from now is going to be extremely expensive, because when everything is done, when all the exchanges are government owned, one Monero will be worth at least $50,000, $15,000. Right now it's just worth 2% of that price. You have a coin like Bitcoin, which is really right now 0.05. In francs CFA is less than 5 francs. No, not 5 francs. It's about 0.5 francs. So literally half a franc. You have a coin like Indigen, which is $0.1, which is about 10 francs. And all of these 3 coins particularly are privacy coins. And if a person just does a $1,000 investment and spread it out on these 3 coins particularly, this is the ratio that I decided, but you guys can go as you please with your own ratios. But just doing so, that $1,000 is gonna make you 10 million plus by December alone. By December alone, because we have a coin. We have a coin like Bitcoin, which is gonna be worth $200 plus, and you investing $250 right now to get about 50,000 of them. That already gives you 10 million in 11 months if you hold it. Because again, we're going to go into why you have to hold this for that long and not be moved by the current man-made cryptocurrency crash, because it's nothing else but the government trying to fully take over these opportunities that people currently have to become free from the banking system and also make money without the banking system. So these 3 coins are the coins to own in terms of going offshore and fully private, and will also make you dramatical amounts of profit. Now guys, you guys may ask, like, what do I do now, and what does it really mean for me that wants to get involved with cryptocurrency right now? If the government is planning to own the whole cryptocurrency market, or at least 80% of it will be owned by them, what do I do? Is it still a safe investment? Is it still something I should get involved in? Or can I just stay away from it totally because I don't want to lose some money? Either way, you will lose. That's the truth. If you don't get involved with it right now, you would have lost this opportunity because the bank would take over it and now be the one to control it again temporarily. And if you do get involved with it, just as I said earlier, 99% of your coins should be on your own wallet, should be kept by your own self and not placed in any exchanger, particularly not Bitfinex, Bittrex, Coinbase, and Binance, who is also on the list of exchanges who are going to be closed. Maybe not this year for Binance, but the beginning of next year, Binance is on the list of exchanges who will be closed. There's a good news and a bad news. The good news is you owning your own cryptocurrency in your own computer, close to your own hands and eyes, means that when the market will go up or when the market will go down, you are secured and you will not lose your coin. Even if the government does take over exchanges, your coins will not be taken over by them because it's on your computer. And unless they decide to take away that computer, you can be assured that you will always have cryptocurrency to become that dark market exchanger. And the reason I use the word dark is not necessarily because it's a bad one, but because the government would have made it illegal to trade cryptocurrency unless you pass through them, just as what they did with gold and silver, that it was illegal for anyone to exchange his gold or silver for dollars unless he does it through the bank. So you will have cryptocurrency on your possession. You could exchange it and send it to anyone that you want to send it to, free from the eyes or control of the government in peculiar. But that simply means that you will be among the elites, I should say, or should I say the very few people who would own their own cryptocurrency, because most of the people will have their cryptocurrency online and not offline. And you guys that would have your cryptocurrency offline, you are on your way to making not just $1 billion this year with CryptoAfrica, but also a lot more money by next year without Crypto Africa, if you so choose, because your own coins, your own money, you can do with it however it pleases you. Sell it at whatever price you want to sell it, because the demand will be extremely high. Just 20% of it owned by the people, and you're one of those 20%. You know that the 20% of the world right now are considered to be the elites. So imagine the 20% of the whole cryptocurrency market, and which is worth more than all the stocks market in the world combined. How much will you be worth? You be the judge of that again. So us at Crypto Africa, it's basically a community first with an aim this year to make billionaires with cryptocurrency. That's the aim for this year. And there are thousands of people who through Crypto Africa will become billionaires in 2018. And I hope that all of you presently watching this presentation are among those people who will be billionaires by the end of this year. In December, you should be worth to the list half of this to the list. And don't be scared by numbers, by the way, because that's really truly all they are, just numbers. And the pre-story earlier was to prepare you for this ending. Thus, cryptocurrency is literally worth less money, in a sense that there is no real commodity, physical commodity to back it up. So when you see this 2 billion right here, almost 3 billion in dollar, that is just really and truly numbers. There is no real gold or real silver or real petroleum behind this number. This is simply the trust of people who gave this worth and nothing else. So when I say that our aim for this year is to help you have half of this number for your own self, really and truly don't be scared, because it's truly possible, and most of you guys will testify that it is possible, really and truly. So how do you get involved with Crypto Africa? How do you get some cryptocurrencies? Where do you start? Those are questions that are going to be answered now. And when the government will finally do this takeover, if I want some cryptocurrencies or if I want to sell them, where do I go? And to answer that question again, Crypto Africa is really what you are looking for, especially for this time. Whether it will be to buy your Bitcoins, whether it be to buy your coins. Again, when I say Bitcoin, it's not limited to it, but most of the cryptocurrencies that we advertise, and not just any cryptocurrency, because there are seriously a lot of scams among them. So be wise and do your due diligence. But those that we have done our due diligence on, you can get them here. And Another good news is in May, we'll be releasing an app, and that app will be a full privacy exchanger, in the sense that that exchanger will not be online as this one, and unless you have a particular code or a particular software, it will be impossible for you to buy or sell any cryptocurrency from us. And the reason being, the government closing all exchanges, we may or may not also be a target. So to allow people to continue to do their trades even when this has happened will be to make ourselves offline, in the sense that unless people know where to go to get to us, it will be impossible for them to do so. So if you want to buy any cryptocurrency, CryptoAfrica.com, you click on this button right here, trade now. If you want to sell any cryptocurrency, CryptoAfrica.com, you click on this button here. If you want to get involved or need any help concerning cryptocurrency, this button right here will help you do that. And everyone that has not yet done so should sign up and get an account so that he or she can be updated every time there's any news. Next thing, you guys should check our blog, because there are really great information posted on a weekly basis, truly speaking. And if you haven't done so, check it out. Good stuff. Last but not least, this current presentation will be shared and posted on this section of the website, because I've received an advice from someone that's currently watching to actually record this and post this online for people to watch. And it looks like you guys couldn't see the screen in the beginning of this presentation. So the good news is, after this one, you will see a new section just below this one right here, and this video will be uploaded on it for you guys to rewatch it, and to also download the presentation that was used today. A book that all of you guys should have, CryptoAfrica Millionaire, again, media section, where either you click this download button or you read this book. It contains most of the coins that we've presented so far, their benefits, and a price estimation by December, and some people who you should follow, and some advices as well. Last but not least, to find us, I've shown you the website. Make sure to like us on Facebook, and if you want any particular advice, or if you have any particular question, you can either write us an email, join us on our Telegram group, or give us a call on WhatsApp, because you guys are really part of the future that's unfolding. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that you currently watching this simply means that you will be among those that will benefit from this crash, and not among those that will, should I say, shed tears from this crash, because several people would, and you guys are not among those. So thank you again for watching this presentation. As I would say, it will be uploaded on the media section today, just after you guys. And if you had people that couldn't participate now, you can just share the link with them for them to go watch it directly. So this is where I end for today. Just simply one recap. These are 3 particular cryptocurrencies. Private one that everyone currently watching should own, and not only own it online, but also keep it offline before the end of this year. I would suggest before September. So right now it will be fine to have your cryptocurrencies online, but not on Bitfinex, not on Bittrex, and not on Coinbase, because I can't really give you a day or a month of when they are going to be closed, but they surely are. So prudence and care is necessary. Therefore, keep your own coins on your own possession. And the only bad news is there's really nothing to worry about. So don't take this opportunity to really freak out and worry so much about the whole cryptocurrency stuff, because you're part of something good. And don't take what the government or the bank would say concerning it as full-fledged fact, because 10 out of 10 times it never is. So this is me just warning you guys for what they will do and preparing you guys for what is going to happen next. You guys have a lovely Friday. This should be where I would end. So it's for the next few minutes, I'm going to answer every question that you guys may have. And one particular thing again that I will say, this presentation is going to be uploaded on the media section of the website right here, and you should see it just below these things, below these books. So make sure to go through it, especially the beginning, since my screen wasn't shared, but it was also recording at the same time. So you guys should go do that, and the presentation itself will be uploaded here for everyone to go through the content of what was said today. So thank you once more for joining us for this presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Any question, you can release your microphones and talk to me, please. about the coins in September, I think in May, by May, you guys should be updated, especially when we release that app, that exchange app, or should I say exchange software. You guys should also be updated on that coin by then. But the truth is, everyone will be aware of it because it will be fully backed by the government and the United Nations. So it will become their currency per se. So everyone will truly be aware of it anyway. So don't worry, but by May, we will keep you guys or bring you more information concerning that in particular. Any other question? Idris, any question from you, bro? The large, any question from you? This crash is not gonna end, by the way, so you should expect it throughout this year and throughout next year. But this is particularly cryptocurrencies not owned by the government, in the sense that cryptocurrencies like Ethereum will not really be affected as much because they are owned already by the CIA. Cryptocurrencies like the Bitcoin will not be affected as much because 80% of it will be owned by the government. But currencies like NEM, currencies like Monero, even though their price will significantly grow up, at the same time, their price will not grow as much because they will not be backed by all the legal institution of the world. So this crash is not a temporary one. If not, it's gonna go on for about a year or two. So throughout this year and throughout next year. But again, it's not as much as a crash as it just is, what word would I use? Holding back the growth, because they are going to grow, but not as much as they should have or as they could have, because the government would have hijacked most of them. But they are going to grow, so that's one thing you can be at peace. Any question from you, Idris? And thank you, brother. I just hope to see you more often then, or should I say hearing from you more often. So if you ever have any question, you just know where to go, CryptoAfrica.com. I saw Gabriel Agbo joined. I don't know if you actually heard all of this presentation, but if you didn't, it will be posted on the website within the next hour. So all you do is you go on CryptoAfrica.com for everyone that hasn't watched it, and go on the media section right here. And if you're on a mobile phone, you should see something different, but they should always be the media section. And when you do so, you just scroll down to the bottom. It should be here on this section, which is presently empty, so that you can rewatch and preview all what was said before you joined. But if you have any other question, you can always click right here and leave us a message on Facebook, on WhatsApp, or by email. I hope that helps, Gabriel. That also goes the same for Williet. If you did not watch all of the presentation and you want to go through it, media section, it will be uploaded right here for you to go through it, and the presentation that was used also will either be emailed to you guys or be uploaded here as one of these books. So just make sure to check it out within the next hour. You should already find it there. I want to hear from you, Delage, just before we close. Just as William has done, everyone else that wants the presentation that was used should send his email by message, and we will email you the presentation. Thank you, William. You received the presentation within the next minutes. And everyone else that wants it should either send us his email right now or check out the media section within the next hour. Anyone wants to say something? If anyone wants to say something, should just release his mic. I will go mute for the next minutes. If nothing, then I wish you already a good night ahead of time, and I hope to see you when we do our next CryptoAfrica Billionaires session, part 4. And the part 4 should be mostly about Zem and Zfinity coin, those two particular ones. That should be the main theme of the part 4. So you guys have a good night, and anyone wants to speak, I would just be the one to listen now. Okay, Ayuk will really try our best, because truly speaking, we don't really decide when we make this presentation that long. So it really sometimes happens spontaneously. So we'll do our best to keep you at least a day before. But the truth is, if you go on Facebook and search for CryptoAfrica, just Africa, you should find our page. And most times, all the things that we do are posted here. As you can see, this particular presentation was posted here. The information was posted 2 days ago on the 31st of January. So if you check out our webpage, you should always be updated with every time we have this presentation. But right now that I have your email, I will email you personally each time we have these ones, so that you can get ready. But if not, go on Facebook, CryptoAfrica.com, and if you're English, you should say follow. So, and just follow us. Whenever there's a new information, you should be updated. You should receive a message. So that's what I would say. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, I will leave you guys now, and everyone has a good day. Everyone has a good night, and see you next time.